Start off with a good one, Daryl. This is probably the worst heat I've ever seen in SNHL. The Division I Connie. Everybody has something going on here. First, Peyton Hop and Scott Bruce Wilson, they jump the gun. They're out of it. They're not going to win. Taylor Evans now leading Ben Dowell up the backstretch. He's got to stay off the buoys. Not like that. So now Taylor's out. He hit a buoy. Now he goes inside the course. And he decides to leave the course. Because he thought going inside the course was disqualification. But it isn't. Kim Burton is now the leader. On the front stretch he goes up. Australian internet had other plans. So he blows over. He's out of it. Excuse me, Peyton. What are you doing? You're going off the course. You're going back to the pits because you jumped the gun and you're not going to win it. Okay. I get it. Wait a minute. Hang on. You know you can't go back onto the course without getting a penalty. Oh my gosh, Peyton. All right. Ben, you're the only lead boat on the lead lap. Scott jumped the gun. You don't need to race him. Scott, you don't need to race Ben. What are you two doing? Why are you two racing that hard? Okay, now Ben blows over. He's out of it. Scott Perspilski ends up winning the Connie with a penalty. I gotta say, D1, come on, man.
Well, I got to say, come on, man, to you as we go to the SNHL Gold Cup D1 final heat. And you notice we'll stay straight here. We know you can take the lane if you've got Rooster Tail overlap, but I don't think this is what they meant. As Bo, you almost caused a couple of boats to go over there with Eddie Canflush and DJ Miller getting pushed over. Here's another look at it as they're going down, trying to establish their lanes. And Bo, you just come, I'm just gonna make a hole here, and everybody's getting wet now. And unfortunately, that disjoints the starts. The starts were disjointed enough as they were during the SNHL Gold Cup. But the worst part about it is it disadvantaged everybody because we come around turn number 2 to start the heat. You are, let's take a look at it, late to the start. Come on, man.
I did what must be done to try to win that final. But not to be outdone, they got Kelsey Best here in Heat 2B of the Emerald Cup in Seattle. Quentin Miller says, yeah, I'm going to go park right in front of him, as Quentin Miller tends to do. Kelsey, why did you start your boat? You know you're not going to... Okay. So Kelsey gets stuck on Quentin Miller, and they stay like this for, I kid you not, a minute and a half of the mill. During this time, Kelsey is telling me, his spotter, go tell Quentin to get off of me! And I tell him he's not gonna. So then Kelsey takes the initiative and goes down to Quentin's voice channel and tells him, get off of me! Quentin says, no. Shocker. So then Kelsey asks me, can I go back to the pits? And I say, well, technically yes, which is what you just saw. Kelsey, why did you have to get stuck on Quentin in the first place? Come on, man.
The darndest things you see in the mill. And we're going to flash back to Detroit now, as that race, of course, is just the gift that keeps on giving. Division 2 here. We start in the President's Cup. Heat 1C. Eldon Sands is just having a pretty good run by himself. And Scott Witherall says, hey, why don't you go say hi to the crowd? Eldon goes flying. That's going to be a disqualification for Mr. Witherall. We move to Heat 2A of the President's Cup. Good run there on the outside for Scott Witherall heading into turn number 1. Maybe he can pick up a couple of positions as he heads into the corner. Heads in, makes a turn. Oh no, there's a Rooster Tail there. Up and over he goes. That's 0 points again for Mr. Witherall. At least he can get some points at 3A. Wright is running by himself. May not be in a winning position. He can at least get some points, feel good about himself, and hits a rogue wave and up and over. 3 races, 3 heats, no points. Scott Witherall, come on, man.
I had to do a double take the first time I saw this one. Ricky McQueen in the Division 2 Connie on Thunder on the Ohio. Okay, jumps the gun. Okay, we've all done that. But then, immediately after that, he hits a buoy, punts it into the next county, flips over, lands it, stays in the gas, almost hits that buoy, and decides to give the fans an up-close and personal experience with a prop in their face. Ricky, come on, man.
Hey, the Ohio River can be rough sometimes. We all know that. You know what also be rough is the water at Miami Marine Stadium. That's where we're heading to next. Connor Harnack, Alpine Stars, the SNHL Diamond Cup, Heat 3D, heading into turn number 1, and that Miami water is going to bite right there. Sends the boat right out into Scott Witherall's lane. Okay, no harm, no foul there. Might be a bearing out penalty, but hey, stay in it. Just remember how the water conditions are going to be. Maybe lift up a little bit into turn number 1 on lap number 2, heads into the corner, and no, it pushes out and gives Scott Witherall a bump for good measure. Officials aren't going to like that. Can we at least keep the lane for the third lap? The water is basically a bog at this point. Gonna have to lift out of it. Just keep it in the lane, and oh no, here we go again. Hits Scott Witherall, gets a disqualification. Connor, come on.
Division I Columbia Cup, Heat 1C. Nick Kish, he's on a mission. He wants to beat Eddie Camfu so bad. He's got him on his inside, but he goes over right in front of Eddie and he plows into him. Okay, that's happened before in SNHL, but here's the catch. You see Quentin Miller up there in lane 2? Nick was trying to push Eddie into lane 2 in order for him to slow down and either hit Quinn or avoid him so Nick could beat Eddie. But all that ended up happening was Nick Kish caused Eddie to wreck. Nick got no points. Eddie got 169 points. Nick, what are you doing? Come on, man.
Hey, you gotta say that Eastern Eagles Racing does look pretty in this photo.
It does. I hope he keeps that paint scheme.
And we go now to the Diamond Cup here in Miami. Dustin Hicks coming out for his run here, Heat 3A. He's gonna be okay. Just gotta get around and negotiate this turn. And oh no! Ends up flipping the boat over. First rule of hydroplane racing, don't turn right. The skid fin doesn't like it when you do that. He goes to make the turn, the fin unhooks, and Dustin goes over on his side. Turn what was turning into a great night into a rough one. All I gotta say, Dustin Hicks, come on, man.
Yeah, that giant plate on the side of the boat, it's there to help you turn left, not right. But this is my personal favorite, Daryl. Scott Perspilski in the Division I final heat in Gunnersville. We got to dust off our skills, of course, but we also got to dust off the rule book. You see those white buoys out there? You got to be on the left side of those, not the right. Why was he out there in the first place? Well, because Ben was sitting out there being the alternate, and Scott just was a little bit curious as to who that was. So he gave himself a penalty to satisfy his curiosity. In my 7 years of UHL, I have never seen anything as brain farty as this. Scott, bruh.
And my favorite happened at Madison. We were all wondering at the start of the season who was going to be the first to hit a dead boat. Unfortunately, Adam Thurston, the British internet, put the boat a little bit over where it actually was, and Adam just had no chance. Goes flying through the air and into number 1 for, come on, man.